The following is a pre-recorded show. Welcome to Winning in Retirement with your host, Brian Akers, certified financial planner professional and founder of Akers Financial Group. Now, helping you win in your retirement, here's Brian Akers.
Hello, I'm Brian Akers, and welcome to Winning in Retirement. I have with me here today Jeff Akers. We're both certified financial planner practitioners from Akers Financial Group. Jeff's been working with me for over 20 years now. Jeff's a certified financial planner practitioner, and today we have a very good show. Hey, Jeff, are you awake?
I am wide awake and ready to go. You know, you mentioned I've been working with you for over 20 years now. Brian's actually been at this for 30 years or more. Been a certified financial planner since, 1991 or something like that?
Yeah, back last millennium.
Yes. That was a long time ago.
Very true, but it's a holiday weekend. It's a good weekend for everyone to get around and see family. And what we want to do is a special show. This show is that you need to listen to the entire show because we have a lot of important information for you. What we want to do is we want to have a show called Financial Independence. Yes, Independence Day is coming, but do you know what? People are going to be asking, what are you doing for the 4th of July? We don't say that here at Akers Financial. What we say is this. We say, what are you doing on Independence Day? Because that's really what the day is all about. Because we're all about independence, financial independence. You living an independent life and throughout your retirement, staying independent. We believe in life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. Of course, this is throughout your retirement. And that's true winning in retirement. So what we've done is we've broken down the show into 4 quarters, 4 different topics, all related to financial independence. We really take time to plan out this show because we want to give you some great information. So it's important. This is important that you listen to all 4 quarters. So we designed the show for you, no matter what age you are, to be able to understand how you can win in retirement by understanding what's so important about your Independence Day. All right, Jeff, let's start out with the concept of financial independence. What is that?
So financial independence is the idea that if you're working, it's because you want to, you love it, not because you have to in order to pay the bills. We want you to be able to, if you love your work, you love what you're doing, that's fine, you can keep doing it. But if you want to stop working and want to travel, do something like that, then you're independent. You're free to go and do those kinds of things. So that's financial independence, when you get to choose whether you're working or not because you don't need the paycheck to take care of your bills.
Exactly right. So the money is coming from everything you built up over your lifetime rather than from the job. And you know that if you turn it on, there's enough to meet your needs today and throughout the future. And so what happens is this: Independence Day is the day when you have a good financial plan and you're able to know that you have enough to meet your needs for the rest of your life. And then the next day, you choose to go back to work. It's sort of a combination of great financial planning through a lifetime and then pulling the actual numbers all together and then just saying, wow, look, we're there. We got enough. Now, what do we want to do? What is our exit goal? What is that dream? Do we enjoy our job? Want to keep on working? Do we want to start dialing back a little bit? And the thing is that you have enough money saved or pensions earned, ability to live within your means so that you can make it a lifetime. That's true financial independence.
Absolutely. When you're working and you're saving money, you're building up that nest egg ready to go. And then when it's time to turn on the income from that, we talk about turning on income a lot when we do financial planning. And your income might come from, some of it's from Social Security, some of it might be from a pension. More and more, we have to rely on our own savings to provide our retirement income. So when we build that up to a point that we have enough to last a lifetime, the rest of our life, that's where we're financially independent and we can do the things that we want to do, not the things that we have to do as we go. So it's important right now for all of us. We want to, if you're not retired yet, we want to know what do we need to do to get to that point. If we are retired already, then we want to know how can we stay independent and maintain that financial independence.
Financial Independence Day just doesn't happen by chance. It happens by purpose. What I mean by that is this: no matter what age you are, the younger the better, actually. If you begin to pay yourself first, save and put money away, and throw that money to your own future, it'll be there for you to live off of as you maybe possibly retire or get to that point where you have your Independence Day and you know that you have enough saved. We believe that retirement is all about cash flow, knowing your expenses, knowing where your income is going to be coming from, and knowing all the bills, and then projecting them out with inflation in mind. There's many things that come into a financial plan, but the calculation for financial independence is one of the things that drives most initial meetings with new clients. Right, Jeff?
Yes, it is. We have to take into account things like inflation. We've all seen a little bit of that here lately. But inflation over time, if you're going to be retired for 20, 30 years, the cost of things goes up over time. And so how are we going to account for that and make sure that you remain independent when you retire? Now, I've got some clients who they said, okay, here's when I want to retire. And then as they get closer to it, their employer comes to them and says, well, if you stay just a little longer, we're going to give you X, Y, or Z. They'll give you some kind of bonus. And so they might come back and say, I want to stay and get that. And it's because they want to, not because they have to. There are other folks that say, this is my date. I want to stop working on this date and retire, and we're going to move to another state that we like better. It might be closer to grandchildren. Could be any number of things. They just like the weather better somewhere else. And so they're free to do that when we've got the plan in place to take care of all of those things. We've got to take care of health care. We've got to take care of all your expenses. And we've got to watch for inflation over the time that you're going to be retired. So it's important now to be taking care of these things and looking at these things.
Yeah, I've been thinking about all the different clients I met this week. We've had a really good week of multiple age groups. I think the youngest person I talked to this week was probably 22, someone who has begun to save money. And what we were doing is just sitting with them and sort of coaching them up, saying like, you are here. What are your goals? What do you need this money to do for you? Have you thought 2-3 years down the road? And then we talk about giving money purpose so that they can meet their short and immediate needs. But then also we talk about the ability that once someone has a savings and emergency fund and they can really truly get themselves out of debt, they then can start focusing on throwing money to their future. One of the greatest things about investments is the compounding of your investments over time. Compounding of your investments. If this 22-year-old starts at early on putting money in stocks, no matter how small, getting that money growing and allowing it to compound over time, it can really mean a lot to reaching that financial independence day even sooner. Hey, Jeff, can you explain the magic of compounding a little bit?
I will do my best, and I'm going to give an example, and this is from my head, so we'll be careful here, but there's a rule of 72. If you take an investment and that rate of return, divide that into 72, it tells you how many years that investment will take to double over time. So if you can get a double in 10 years and you're 22 years old, well, if you invest $1,000, when you're 32, it's $2,000. Not necessarily real exciting. But then it becomes $4,000 when you hit 42, and then $8,000 at 52, and $16,000 at 62. Now, if you get one more double and you go to 72, which is now the required minimum distribution age, but if you get one more double, that's $64,000 that came out of a $1,000 investment when you're 22. That's the beauty of compounding. Einstein called it, the eighth wonder of the world, something like that. So it's a wonderful tool, and when you're young and you can start young, that is the thing to do to build for your retirement future, your financial independence.
And so in a case like that, to put some money into an account like a Roth IRA that will be invested in stocks for the long term. Yes, retirement isn't the first thing you think about when you're 22, but when you think about all the components of life, setting aside some money to something like a Roth IRA and putting $1,000, $2,000, hey, if you're 22, you can do $6,000. And what'll happen is that money starts to double. And Jeff did really well with the math there. Now, he used a 10-year double, which is a 7.2 compounding rate, which is actually low for the stock market over the last 80, 90 years. If you look back in history, you can see there's some that earn 8 to 12% over time, over the long term. At a 12% rate, money doubles every 6 years. Stock market doesn't go straight up or straight down. Not all stocks, not any stocks grow to the sky. So you got to be careful on how you invest, what you do with money. Some of the things that are happening with people is that they're able to invest amazingly easily. That's the right way to say it? It's easy to invest nowadays. And so a lot of people are doing it, but sometimes they're buying extremely high risk investments where they put that $1,000 in and they have $100 a couple of days later. We're talking about diversified stocks, mutual funds, index, just diversify that money out so that it can be something you can put in and almost forget about it for 30, 40 years if you're a young person. So there's some thoughts. What do you think about a 22-year-old even talking about financial independence, Joe?
Well, I think it's fantastic when they talk about it early, because the earlier you start, the easier it is to get there, like that compounding example. But what Brian's saying is we're talking about investing with your long-term money, not gambling with your long-term money, which is what sometimes people are doing with these easy stock things. So we want to talk about investing and being wise with your investments.
Exactly right. So the radio show is called Winning in Retirement. Winning in retirement is whenever that is for you. So in retirement, we want your biggest worry of your day to be where you're going to drink your morning cup of coffee. Of course, if you don't like coffee, you need to think about whatever else, like iced tea or water or a nice donut, where every day seems like a Saturday, free of stress. Your retirement income and investments taken care of by the team of advisors at Acres Financial Group. This is the future you want. It's not too late. We want to provide you with this kind of retirement. Begin by calling Acres Financial Group to schedule your free meeting. Give us a call at 833-WIN-RETIRE. That's 833-WIN-RETIRE. Give us a call at 833-946-7384 or visit acresfinancialgroup.com. When is your Financial Independence Day? We'll discuss why that's important to know in the second quarter.
You're listening to a pre-recorded show. Welcome back to Winning in Retirement. Call 833-WIN-RETIRE now to schedule a visit with Brian and his team and begin winning in retirement. Once again, here's Brian Akers.
Welcome back to the second quarter of Winning in Retirement. I'm Brian Akers. Here with me today is Jeff Akers. We're both certified financial planner practitioners from Acres Financial Group. All right, we're doing the show today called Financial Independence. At Acres Financial Group, we don't ask about 4th of July. We ask about Independence Day. Independence means a lot. It means a lot for our clients. It means a lot with what we do. Because if we're able to help our clients be independent and know that they're okay, we've reached one of the main goals in financial planning, and that is knowing that financially, there's not the worry that a lot of people have where they have to go out and work harder and harder and save more and work on paying off debt. There's a lot of work to become financially independent. All right, Jeff, now this quarter, we're going to start out with the question of when is your Financial Independence Day? Now, Jeff, you worked with me for a long time. I don't know your Financial Independence Day. What's your thought?
Oh, man, you're going to ask me about my Financial Independence Day.
No,
I'm too young
that
for
private.
No.
Yeah, we keep that private.
No, I say I'm too young, but nobody's too young. I'm planning for financial independence by setting money aside, saving for the future. But when I think about independence, I think about freedom. Independence and freedom, they're kind of synonymous in my mind. And so one of the things that we want to do in preparing for financial independence is becoming debt-free, freedom from debt. That's one of the things that just really puts you on a good track to become financially independent and financially free throughout retirement. So that's one of the things that I would think about is working on becoming debt-free.
Yeah, I'm glad you didn't reverse the question back to me, because my answer on when is your financial independence day, it comes in a bunch of different pieces. One of them is the need to be financially independent, and that is in case something terrible happens, disabilities, something where you can't work, you can't do the job you're doing. Having your plan able to last a worst case scenario when it comes to when is your financial independence day. So the more we save and fit our retirement plan, that actually reduces the need for extra life insurance, all kinds of other things that cost money when we have our financial independence set up. So when is your financial independence day? My answer, it's all about the balance of life. I absolutely love my job. I like the idea of retirement, but not doing my job is something that's hard for me to say. I want to be independent of that. But that's what I guess one of the amazing things for me during my life is it's a job since an early age where I want to be a financial advisor. I want to be able to help people where they are and help them get to where they want to be. And that's been an amazing thing we've all been able to do. So when I talk to clients about when you're Independence Day, I get excited for them, because it's like when they walk through that door in that meeting, I feel like I'm on their team, I'm part of their group, and we're trying to accomplish the goal together. And of course it's their goal, but all of a sudden it feels like it's my goal, And so I really enjoy that. So the winning in retirement is sort of that moment in the meeting or moment in that relationship with a client where I look across the desk or recently look across the Zoom, and I say to that client, you're ready to go. When do you want to retire? Have you thought about it? You've saved, you've built your money. We can take less risk now and reach all the goals you have. You've paid off all your debt. You're in good shape. So the question of when is your Independence Day has to be done through financial planning. So Jeff, how would you try to help somebody understand when their Independence Day is?
Well, we would take a look at what are your expenses going to be in retirement. We want to know, how much you're going to need coming in. And once we have that figured out, then we need to look at your income. What kind of money are you going to have coming in? Maybe through Social Security, pension, whatever the case may be. And then how much of a gap do we need to fill with investment income? And then how much is it going to take to provide that? How much investment income do we need to have in order to provide the income you're going to need throughout retirement? But as we're talking with folks, sometimes they reach that financial independence time where we say, we've got things in place, you've got the plan in place, we're good to go, you can retire. And for them, they might say, well, I like my job, but maybe I'd like to work 40 hours instead of 60 hours every week. Or they might want to cut it back to half time. They want to keep doing what they're doing, maybe just not as much, and they're not doing it because they have to. I had a client a few years ago who he was thinking about retiring and thinking really hard about it because things at work were stressful. It was painful, and he was almost to that financial independence point. And so he had his goal, I'm going to get to this date. Well, before he got to that date, things at work changed, and it became less stressful. And he's like, I think I'll work a little longer, even though I could retire now. But if things get stressful again, I'm going to go. And so that's financial independence, because he's working because he wants to be, not because he has to be. And when things, go a way that he doesn't want to go, he's free to say, okay, here's my papers, I'm retiring, I'm out of here. So helping someone get to that point is very satisfying as a financial planner.
Yeah, I've been thinking about different clients as you were talking about, different conversation we've had just in the last few weeks about where they are. And so we call that your financial fingerprint. Just like everyone has their own personal fingerprint, it's individual, it's yours. So is your financial plan. Your financial plan all starts with your financial fingerprint, where what we do is we look at where you are now, the good and the bad. And many times it takes work to get almost like out of a hole and then begin the process of getting to the point where we can say, all right, when is your Independence Day? So it depends on where you are, but you have to start changing your finances now, not waiting to the future. Now, I've seen some younger people trying to chase investment returns as a hope to pay off debt, almost like you put the money on red, and then if I win at that, then I'll pay off my debt. And the reality is the house wins most of the time. And so what happens when it comes to investing or building your Independence Day, knowing your expenses, paying off your debt, or not going into debt is one of the key ingredients to having a low financial need at retirement. The lower your need, the easier it is to retire. That's why in financial planning, sometimes it's harder when you have someone who makes a lot of money, way above 250,000 or a lot higher than that, whatever the numbers are. It's hard to keep that same standard of living throughout retirement without a tremendous amount of money saved. And so there's these habits of people when it comes to their money that we have to look at and talk about. When you're talking about financial independence, you have to balance out where they are, what their goals are, and then the reality of where their money goes. Have you ever seen that, Jeff?
Yeah, you mentioned the word habits, and that just rings a bell for me, because folks that have good habits where they're setting money aside, they're saving, and they're not going into debt, those are the folks that they can achieve financial independence. I don't want to say easily, but much more easily than someone who goes into debt and doesn't have any savings built up. So early on, even when you're in your 20s, you want to get that plan in place so that you've got kind of your ducks in a row, so that you're lining things up so that down the road you'll be able to retire. You want to have an emergency fund, money set aside so that if something goes wrong, you don't have to charge it. You can just pay cash for it and not have a problem. I was talking to a young couple the other day, and they just hate the idea of debt. They're in their 30s. They do have a mortgage for their house, but they're trying to get rid of that, and that's the only debt that they have. When they buy a car, they save money for it, and they pay cash for the car. So that's a good habit to be in, and when they get to retirement age, they'll be able to retire much more easily because of those good, positive habits. So have that emergency fund, have the debt paid off. It doesn't sound very exciting. It's not like putting all your money on red, but it's successful. It helps you achieve that goal so that you can win in retirement.
Yeah, I had a client where they sort of knew that there's going to be an offer for them to retire a little bit early. And so it was a new client. They came in and they said, in the next year or 2 years, there's going to be an opportunity for me to take retirement. But I don't know if I'm really ready financially. And so a financial plan, we began with her financial fingerprint, reviewed everything she has and what she's been doing. And then we started a process of getting her ready. Now, in her situation, we basically looked at the budget first. Yeah, not exciting, but we tried to get rid of some of the bills. So they had different debts, different bills. They all cost $300, $400, $500 a month, but they all pile up. So we ended up paying off everything with some extra cash she had just sitting there. In many cases, I've seen someone have a credit card or even a home equity loan, and then they have extra money in the savings, more money than needed for emergency, earning zero. And I'm like, well, I think your emergency fund's sufficient based on the budget talk we've had. And based on that information, you have extra money in that money market. Why not pay off that debt now? Get out of that debt. And so that situation became a process where within three and a half months, we knew how much she needed. And then amazingly, 6 months later, they made the offer, and we evaluated it, and then she was able to retire just a couple months after that. It was amazing how fast the plan came together. Not perfect dream world for me. I'd rather coach them all the way up so I know they're on the right path. But it did work out very well in that she's been retired about 2 years. So that worked out very well for her.
Yeah, that's fantastic. And that's the kind of story that we like to be able to tell, is someone coming in saying, am I ready? I've had clients before, they'll come in and the first thing out of their mouth is, how am I doing? How am I doing? And am I in a good place compared to everyone else? And it's like, well, it's not compared to everyone else. It's your financial fingerprint. Here's what we need to do to get you prepared to retire.
Many times that "Are you ready?" is a financial planning fee. It's how we do our job. We sometimes charge a planning fee. Sometimes we make money off investing money, depending on the situation. We designed a company to figure out what the client needs and then explain the different options of hiring us for that purpose. So that's sort of how we try to work. We're independent. At Acres Financial Group, we don't report to a big company on Wall Street. We report to you. We do have offices in Forest Hill and Lutherville, Maryland, but we work with clients all around the country and some around the world. To begin winning in retirement, give us a call at Acres Financial Group to schedule your free meeting. Give us a call at 833-WIN-RETIRE. That's 833-WIN-RETIRE. Give us a call at 833-946-7384 or go to our website at acresfinancialgroup.com. Retiring and staying retired could be your hardest battle later in life. We will explain in the second half of the show.
You're listening to a pre-recorded show. Welcome back to Winning in Retirement. Call 833-WIN-RETIRE now to schedule a visit with Brian and his team and begin winning in retirement. Once again, here's Brian Akers.
Welcome back. We're here in the second half of Winning in Retirement. I hope you're ready for a great finish of our show on financial independence. Many of you know that tomorrow is the 4th of July. And what happens at Acres Financial Group, we actually call it Independence Day. We won't say, what are you doing for 4th of July? We'll say, what you doing for Independence Day? Because we really, really think independence is extremely important when it comes to your finances. Financially independent is you living an independent life, financially independent from your job and other requirements because you've saved and developed and earned enough money to provide for you and your family the rest of your life. We believe in life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Life, liberty, and you pursuing happiness in retirement. That is truly winning in retirement. All right, so this second half, Jeff, you're coming out of the locker room. You warmed up. You ready to go?
Yes, I am. You said life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Our goal is to help you pursue that happiness throughout retirement. So we love doing that.
Absolutely. I try to balance some people out and tell them, let's pursue happiness now and in retirement. Let's have a little bit of both. Because I don't know how long we live. I don't know how long life is. I think there has to be a balance in life. And sometimes there's things that hold us back. And that number one thing is debt. But what we want to do, Jeff, is start with this first question, and then we're going to cover more about that. All right, the question is this. Retiring and staying retired could be your hardest battle later in life. When you hear that kind of comment or question, what do you think, Jeff?
Well, I think of an example that we give clients a lot of times. We tell them leading up to retirement that you want to get rid of your mortgage. And the reason that we want to get rid of the mortgage is because when you're in retirement, health care will end up being your new mortgage payment. When you get older, there's Medicare, there's supplements, there's different ways of handling health care, but it's an expensive thing throughout retirement. And the cost of health care continues to go up. And as we get older, it's just the nature of things that we're going to need more and more health care. And so that cost, that expense continues to increase. So we need to account for that early on, but it can be a difficult battle throughout life, throughout the retirement life, to stay retired because of the cost of health care and the way it increases over time. So we want to get to retirement debt-free, and we want to stay debt-free, and we want to make sure that we've accounted for the cost of health care throughout retirement so that you can remain retired and remain financially independent.
Right, and sometimes you think about, that's for middle income or low income clients, but the reality is higher end clients have some very large mortgages and home equity loans, and their cash flow has a great need. They might need to pay $6,000, $7,000 a month just for their mortgage, and the reality is that to pull out $7,000 a month net out of an IRA, you'd have to pull out close to $10,000 a month just to pay their mortgage payment. So this advice is basically you can use small numbers or large numbers, but the advice is fundamental and will make this money last a lifetime.
And one of the things that surprises people sometimes, you have that large income, so you think, oh, I can handle the big mortgage going into retirement. But on the healthcare side, that means that your Medicare cost is going to be higher because it's means tested. That means for Part B, for regular doctor visits, and Part D prescriptions. And it can be a lot if your income is higher. So that's just one of those things to think about when we talk about large numbers in retirement. People have a big income coming in. They think, oh, everything's going to be fine. But the costs are actually higher as well because of the way some of these things work, including taxes and the sort of a tax on Medicare as well.
Right. So when we talk about the idea of retiring and then staying retired could be the hardest battle later in life. It's a hard battle for certain clients. It's a hard battle for a client who is not a saver, someone who has a habit of spending all the money they make and then some. It's also a hard battle for people when they're not prepared with a proper emergency fund for true emergency in their life or in their family's life. So we've seen some cases where they come to us at 62 and they say, I'm 62, I'm retiring. And then we'll make the comment, well, have you looked at your budget? Have you reviewed where you are? And they're like, no, I'm going to retire. I just want you to tell us that we're okay. Have you had that anytime recently, Jeff?
That happens more frequently than I would like, but
yeah.
It's usually a matter of, okay, let's take a look at what you're going to spend, and do you have the income to meet those expenses? And most of the time, people that come in with that idea, they can make it now, but it's just barely. And so when we start talking about inflation and the cost of things going up and how long they're going to be retired, we realize that, okay, we've got some work to do to get you ready for true financial independence. Retiring and financial independence are two different things. We're striving for financial independence.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So if we have someone that comes in and they say, oh, I'm retiring 62, no matter what, I got to go. And then we say, well, do you have a budget? Now, there's certain things that when they fill out our information sheet, if they have these couple things, I sort of know we might be okay. And one of them is if their house is already paid off. And the second thing is, have they built an emergency fund? Those are two of the main signs of someone with good financial habits. Bad financial habits is someone that has no money saved in the bank or any money liquid for emergencies. If they don't have that money, they typically, the only way they saved in their career was what was hidden from them or what was taken from them out of their business, from their company they work for, and then they put it in retirement. And so what happens is, I'd say a lot of Americans, that's the only way they save is what comes out of their paycheck, and they hide it in a retirement account, 403B, TSP, 401k, all those kind of plans. And so that might be their only source of retirement money, which can be fully taxable at retirement. So these signs that they have no mortgage, they have emergency fund, are just some of the things I look for if someone wants a sort of a quick answer. So if you're evaluating where you are out there, think about it. Let's say your budget is $5,000 a month or $10,000 a month. Do you have 3 times that or 6 times that in a very liquid account? This could be in combinations of money markets, savings, or some version of a short-term investment that might earn a little bit more. But the idea is if you don't have that, that becomes extremely important, and that'll teach you how to budget and live within your means. Now, Jeff, when you think about the hardest battle when somebody's retired, it all starts from possibly retiring too early and not understanding that their true financial independence day is still in their future. And that's why financial planning has to be done.
Right. That's why it's important that we help folks to understand where they stand with regard to financial independence, and not just, okay, my last day of work is on this date. Sometimes, okay, you've left that job, but we're going to have to work at another job for a little while in order to build up the the money that you need to get in a position to be financially independent. One other thing that happens is folks, 62 you mentioned, but healthcare, 65 is when Medicare kicks in. So what are you going to do about healthcare? There are folks that I've seen that work that extra 3 years just because of making sure they have healthcare coverage until they turn 65. So there are a lot of little things that we need to plan for and be on the lookout for to get people ready so they can stay financially independent after they've retired.
Right. So one of the things about people that retire in their 60s is that when they built their savings, there's some habits you need to have with that savings. We recommend that during your 60s that you live off of interest and dividends and try not to use your principal, because we don't want to eat the cow during our early retirement years. Cows give milk, so in financial planning, we like to earn interest and dividends. It's like milk from a cow. You don't want to eat the cow too early on, because then there won't be enough cow left down the road. So the concept is real simple. We truly, truly want to pace and take our time withdrawing money, especially in our 60s. Life expectancy is pretty amazing. It's when someone hits 65, the likelihood of a couple, one of them hitting in their 90s is extremely high, almost 50% chance that one of them will hit like 90 years old. So very important to understand how that all works.
And just a little incentive to come and see Brian. If you come and see him, you can actually watch him draw that cash cow and then talk about, how to get the milk from it and not eat the cow too early on. So that's just a little extra incentive to come and see us. The idea, though, of using your investments, the milk from the cow during the 60s, just helps us to have that money around longer, like Brian was saying. Because when we get into our 70s, required distribution set in. Now we don't have as much choice when it comes to how much money we have to take out of investments. If we have IRAs, we're forced to take a certain amount out. So there are a lot of things to get lined up and make sure that we're planning right. We don't want to spend too much in our 60s and then not have anything left later on in retirement.
I was thinking, Jeff, I don't really draw the cow anymore because I have a stuffed animal cow in my office now, so I can show the cow that way. Because my cow drawings were never good. It was pretty pitiful, actually. But usually the point came across. The idea is this: we want to retire and stay retired, and we want to have a plan on how to handle the bad times in the retirement years. Those could be times when extra money is needed because of emergencies. You need to have a good emergency fund throughout your life so that instead of going into debt when you need tires or when your furnace goes up, you already have it set aside for those emergencies. One of the key fundamental pieces of investment and financial planning is building that emergency fund. We want you to have all these good habits so that you can have an Independence Day that's yours. And you're okay financially from now and for the rest of your life, so you can retire and stay retired. Because we all know that the best part of retirement is going to be getting all your time back, where you decide how to use it. Because before retirement, you're working to get paid, and that takes time, and a lot of your commitments are all tied up with the jobs, and you got to say no a lot to other things. So what we want to see happening for you is when you retire, that goes away, and now you get to pick and choose what you would like to do. You are winning in retirement because you prepared to win in retirement. Give us a call at 833-WIN-RETIRE. That's 833-WINRETIRE. To schedule a phone meeting, virtual Zoom, or an in-person meeting with one of our team of advisors, start planning for your retirement now. Call 833-946-7384 or visit acresfinancialgroup.com. True financial independence is when you can work because you love it, not because you have to. We'll explain in the fourth quarter.
You're listening to a pre-recorded show. Welcome back to Winning in Retirement. Call 833-WIN-RETIRE now to schedule a visit with Brian and his team and begin winning in retirement. Once again, here's Brian Akers.
Welcome back to Winning in Retirement. I'm Brian Akers, president and founder of Akers Financial Group. But one of those guys that was there right when we began is Jeff Akers, vice president resident cousin of Brian Akers is my cousin Jeff Akers. We're both certified financial planner practitioners from Akers Financial Group. Today's show has been about financial independence. People are going to be asking you, what are you going to be doing on the 4th? We don't say that. At Akers Financial Group, we say, what are you doing on Independence Day? Financial independence. You're living an independent life and retirement. We believe in life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Life, liberty, and pursuing happiness and retirement is what winning in retirement is all about. Winning in retirement starts today, no matter what age you are, because you put the work in so that down the road things are okay. Yes, that means sacrifice now. You might not get everything you need or everything you want. Hopefully you get what you need. But, missed on that talk. But the idea is that winning in retirement and financial independence comes all together. So we're winning in retirement because we're financially independent. It's sort of what comes first, chicken or egg? The answer is financial independence. But the real what comes first is giving us a call. And when you give that call, it sort of kickstarts the process. Yes, we do full financial planning. Yes, we need lots of information. Yes, we got to talk about your life and what's going on. That's the only way to guide you with what's best for you and your family. It's not about the end result of selling you something. It's about guiding you into retirement. And that's what Akers Financial does. You can go to our website at akersfinancialgroup.com. That's AKERS financialgroup.com. On our website, you'll see a radio tab, and you can hear this show on that tab. I'll be there later next week for you to be able to hear a recording anytime you like. You can also go and see all of our older shows on our website, so you can go back and learn different topics. On that website, you can check a lot of information about our company, all the people that work for us. Check out our 4 CFPs that work at Akers Financial Group, and our wonderful staff of people that provide service and help people stay retired and be able to be financially independent and be taken care of, which is the key thing. So our website, akersfinancialgroup.com, check it out to get more information about Akers Financial Group and everything that's been going on. All right, Jeff, when we talk about financial planning and financial independence, this last question is something you really like, and that is true financial independence is when you can work because you love it, not because you have to. So what do you think about that, Jeff?
People that are in that position love getting up in the morning. Because whatever they're choosing, they're getting to choose to do what they want to do that day. So they start loving life when they're truly financially independent. But it does take planning to get there. I said before that I think of independence, I think of freedom. And with freedom, there's responsibility. We have to get things in order. And so what our job is to help you with that responsibility, help you figure out here are the things to do, help you figure out how to do them, how to accomplish those goals, help you to set goals and maybe prioritize them. You know, maybe you have a goal. One goal is I want to retire on this date, and another goal is I want to buy a beach house somewhere. And the two goals might be incompatible. So we talk about, okay, if we want to do the beach house, do you want to work a little bit longer? If you want to retire on this date, are you willing to scale back on the beach house a little bit? That's just an example, but there are priorities that we have to set as we go into retirement and achieving financial independence. Brian said before that we want all of your needs to be met, but we all have those wants that go above and beyond our needs, and so we need to prioritize those and figure out what to do and how to make them work. I was talking with a lady earlier this week, and she's been retired for a while now, but when we first met, she didn't have an emergency fund, and things were kind of tight from month to month. And so we helped her with tweaking things, setting priorities, getting things lined up right. And now, when we talk, she's got money saved in the bank. She needs to get a heating system for where she lives, and she's got the money to pay for it. And that's a great position to be in because she's not having to go into debt, and she's able to maintain financial independence as a result of that. So planning for retirement, planning how to spend, setting a purpose for money, those are all important things. And that's what we help you with to accomplish them.
Yeah, Jeff, I hear you talking, and I think about some people thinking, wow, that's a lot of work. I don't really want to do it. And then I hear people getting excited about the concept. And so that's sort of the difference between those that can retire when they want to and those that can't. Those that have money in the future and those that don't. It's sort of like when you think about just sports. Why is that person so good? Why can they make, like in basketball, why can they make so many shots? And it's not because they're lucky. It's because they did a lot of work, a lot of practice. So if we apply sports, so we're financial planners, financial coaches, guiding people to their own goal, we can't do it all for them. They have to take the concepts and then do it all. Do the budgeting. They got to say no to spending on things they don't need. They got to save that money. They got to say, yes, I'm going to put it in the stock market, even if things seem high. I'm going to buy and put that money into a diversified portfolio over time. I'm going to target and pay extra on my debt to get rid of it this year. I'm going to not buy the hottest new thing because I just have to have it. I'm going to save money because I have a longer term goal that's a higher priority. If you want to be financially independent, you got to do the right thing by practicing your financial habits in the best way possible to make sure that money is there to take care of you during the worst of times and throughout your retirement years. The idea of retirement and not being able to retire is going to be a combination of what did you do throughout your career? Did you save and invest for your own financial future? Because we have to do that. We have to start now. You need to save and save more. There's so much when it comes to this, Jeff, that people need to know that, yes, you can change the way you're doing things. When someone comes in and they're ready to change, ready to do the things it takes, what do you do, Jeff? Does it make it exciting for you? What goes on?
That is very exciting when someone comes in and says, okay, tell me what to do. We go through what to do, and they say, all right, I'm ready to do it. I'm ready to take action and do the things that I need to do in order to achieve financial independence. I love that. That's just a great day in my life. It makes my whole day when that happens. It is some work. There are things that we have to do. Over time, the responsibility for your retirement has fallen more and more on you. It used to be there'd be a pension from the job, and your job would kind of take care of you when you retired. Well, that's changed now. It's more in the 401ks where you're having to save, you're investing, you're saving for your own retirement. And so as that responsibility falls on us, the individuals, we need to plan appropriately. We need to set our goals, set our priorities, and make sure that they're in alignment. What we have in income is going to satisfy the needs that we have for our expenses and what we want to do, what we want to accomplish. We love helping people accomplish those goals. If folks get retired, they go and they take that first trip and they come back with pictures and stories about the trip. That's just another great day. So, we can reflect back on, okay, here's the things that you did to get ready for this, and now here it is. Here's the joy that you're getting to experience through retirement and being financially independent. And we just love having those meetings.
Right, but to be independent and then to stay independent is constant monitoring and tracking. Now, many of you have a financial person in your life, someone that you've gone to for financial. A lot of times it's a product. It could be one product and you never hear from them again. It could be investing. It could be different pieces, but it's not ever put all together. And that's the difference in what financial planning does. Financial planning gives us a track to run on, brings everything together where you can see it and build on your goals. Financial independence begins with planning, saving, investing, and it's never too early to start. It's more important to start right now. Don't wait till you think you have enough to get started. Try to start right now. Now, as you grow and grow your wealth, and maybe you're so busy and overwhelmed, you don't have time to take care of it. That's exactly the reason that you should take care of it. Have a trusted advisor that'll be there for you to help guide you safely into the retirement years.
Right. You talked about folks that are out there that are just in product sales kind of things. When people come in and we sit down and talk to them, we can look at what they have and we can kind of have a sense of what kind of person that financial person was in their life. Someone comes in with a bunch of life insurance. Well, their friend was a life insurance guy. That was the answer to everything was life insurance. Somebody comes in with all their money in stocks going every which way and nothing protected, then that was a stock market guy. So we can kind of tell. What we do is we try to put an entire plan together that includes life insurance, investments, all those kinds of things to make sure you're ready to be financially independent.
Yes, this takes work, but financial independence is the day that you want. It's a day when you dream about it. It is actually that way. It is exciting to know that you're okay and that you can choose to do what you want. That is exactly what you want to do when it comes to your own retirement. So today we talked about Independence Day. Think about it. When is your Independence Day? Well, that day begins by calling us. Go ahead and give Acres Financial Group a call at 833-WIN-RETIRE. That's 833-WIN-RETIRE. Financial independence begins with financial planning to know, are you there yet? Are you getting closer? Can you set a date? Get that started. So go ahead and give us a call. You can call us at our phone number and leave a voice message, and we'll call you back on Monday to schedule an in-person meeting or a virtual Zoom meeting to go over your situation where you are now with one of our team of advisors. Start planning now. Call 833-946-7384 or visit acresfinancialgroup.com. Thank you for listening. I'm Brian Akers from Akers Financial Group, and we want you to be winning in retirement.
You've been listening to Winning in Retirement with your host, Brian Akers of Akers Financial Group. Brian Akers of Akers Financial Group is a registered representative offering securities through Kalos Capital Incorporated and investment advisory services through Kalos Management Incorporated. Akers Financial Group is not an affiliate or subsidiary of Kalos Capital or Kalos Management and does not provide tax and legal services. Advice given on winning in retirement is general in nature, and one should seek further advice from their financial advisor, broker, attorney, or tax accountant before investing. Be sure to read each prospectus carefully to understand all the risks associated with each investment.